Hi everyone. So welcome to the next chapter of our Flutter development course. So in this particular chapter, we are going to write some Flutter or Dart code. So but before that, we need to remember what we had done in the previous chapter. So in the previous chapter, we had seen all the key files and folders of a Flutter project. We have seen how Dart code works, or basically how Flutter bridges the gap between your Dart code and the native capabilities of the device. So if you have missed, before we dive into today's topic, make sure to check the previous chapter if you haven't already. The link will be obviously attached in the description below. So let's now jump in. Let's dive in and write some Flutter and Dart code. So as usual, we will work with the app which we have created earlier. So the main.dart file, which we have seen in the previous chapter, but we haven't explored, we haven't seen what does these particular lines of code does. So let's do one thing. Let's clear everything out in the main.dart file so that we can have a clean state and we will be writing our own code. So let me do one thing. Let me clear everything in main.dart file. Okay. So now we have nothing in the main.dart file. So how do we begin with an empty main.dart file? How do we instruct Flutter and Dart to display something on a mobile app? Now, the key command which we need in every Flutter app is the run app. So run app looks like this. It's basically a function. So you have to use the function like parenthesis and semicolon. So this is a function, this is an inbuilt function, which is a core concept of Dart. So basically the purpose of this function is to it kickstarts your app by displaying user interface on the screen, which is very essential. Now this is an inbuilt function, but as we progress more through the course, we will be learning how we can write our own custom function and execute it. So but right now, if you see there are few errors here when I write a run app function. So basically in Dart, you cannot just run function like this. You need to wrap them in another function. So we do this by creating creating a custom function. So let us create a function. Let me type a function or create a function. So I'm naming this function as main function. So this is basically how you define a function. This will be the function body, where you will write all your content of this function. So basically this function is a void function, which means that it won't return anything. However, in Flutter, main is a special function that gets called automatically when the app starts. So now let's do one thing. Let's move the run app function which we have written earlier inside this function. Basically we are wrapping this function with main. So now we have the run app is inside the main function, but still you see there is an error, right? So it says that it isn't defined. So the problem with this is it is not understanding what run app function is. So we need to import the Flutter's material package in order to access this run app. Run app is basically a function provided by the Flutter package. So let's do one thing. Let's import the package. So what I will do is import. Now once I write like this, you see the autosuggest is coming with the autosuggest suggests that there is a material.dart package. So once I do that, now you can see that run app function, it is recognizing the run app function. But there is another error, it says that it needs an argument. I believe you know what an argument or parameter is. So the run app function needs an argument to display something on the screen. The argument will basically be an widget. So now you may ask, how do I know that this particular function needs widget as this parameter? So if you have any question about an inbuilt function, we can just command click this function to see the function which is present in the in the particular package. So here you can see that this, where the function is defined, you can see that the function accepts or function expects a widget. So accordingly we have to create a widget. Now for our basic app we need at least 2 core widgets. First we need the material app widget, and we need later on we will be using scaffold. So first of all, let's see how we can pass material app to run app. So basically what you have to do is you have to write material app. So this is how you create a widget. Now you can see that material app, basically it's a widget which does a lot of things behind the scenes setup, but it does not display anything by itself. So we need to pass it as an argument. And material app also, like, it accepts something, like it's like if you go into material app, if you don't know what is a material app, you can see that these particular functions are required. Okay, so let me create, like, it requires a home argument, as you can see here. So basically what we will do is we will, first of all, let's just pass a simple text. So for that, let me use the home widget and text. Now let's write something, hello world. Okay, so this is what we have written. So this code particularly tells Flutter to display hello world on the screen. Now let's try to run it, see what's happening. So I have already opened my simulator. So let's just try to run this app and see what's happening, like whether it's able to display the text or not. So now you can see that my app is running and it is displaying actually hello world, but it doesn't look in a nice way, like it's not looking nice. So what we need to do is we need to style this hello world or place it in such a way so that it looks better. Now if you go back into the code, you can see some blue lines here. What it says, and we can see a suggestion that it asks us to use the constant keyword. So if we try to do this, like if we accept whatever suggestion is giving, now you can see the blue lines are gone and it has added a constant keyword in the code. So what is this constant, or what basically is this constant, or why Flutter suggested that we need to add constant? So adding constant before material app and text, it tells that these values won't change, allowing it to optimize the memory usage. So basically what it does is once your code execute the things that are created by your code, for example here the widgets, it will be stored in the device memory. But with the constant, when you use the same widget and that same widget with the same text a second time in the app, that existing memory will be reused instead of a second object being created. So therefore using const allows you to reuse the values, and which overall makes your app more memory efficient and overall improving the performance. So that's why it's always suggested to use const keyword. Now our app is still basic, as I've already said, it doesn't look very nice. So let's start styling it and wrapping the text widget into scaffold. So what is scaffold? Scaffold is another widget which we will use here right now. So instead of writing the text here, what we can do is we can just use the scaffold. So you can see that we already getting a suggestion. So it says that we can do it like this, like we can use the scaffold, and inside scaffold we can use a body parameter, and inside body we can use the text. So this is what is suggested by Flutter. So let's try to do this and see what happens. Okay. So now if I go to the app again and rerun the app or reload the app, so you can see that the background is now changed to white background. Even though the hello world is not in a right position, but it looks kind of better than the previous one. So scaffold is a background widget which will add an interface to your app. So let's now try to center this text. It's not in a good position, so let's try to center this text. So for that, what you need to do is we need to add this text in a center widget. So basically now if you ask like how am I able to know all these widgets, so what you can do is you can go into flutter.dev, you can go into their docs, and in the docs you will see a widget catalog. So every widget which Flutter provides is provided here. Okay. So now you can go into layout and you can see all the widgets that are here. Now don't go and just learn all the widgets here, because it's like you won't be using all of the widgets that are present here. So gradually when you start learning about the widgets, like as we progress through the course, we will be going through all the basic widgets, and for those particular widgets you can take reference from here. Okay. So now let's get back into the code, and like as I said, let's wrap this in a center widget. So if I wrap this in a center widget, it asks for a child. Now let me do one thing. Okay. So now let's see how our app looks. Okay, let's rerun it. Okay, so now you can see once I have rerun the application, like reload the application, you can see the text is present in the center and it looks kind of nice. It looks better than the previous one. So this that's our first basic Flutter app, you can say. We have used material app, we have used scaffold, we have used center, and we have text widgets to display a centered text on the screen. So we will build on this foundation in the next lesson and try to create more complex and useful app or more useful widgets. We will be learning more like how to use more widgets, and also we will be learning how to write custom functions and configure widgets to style them. Now if you are, so that's it for this particular lesson. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Like your feedback will mean a lot to me, and it will also help me to improve the content. So that's it for today. See you in the next video on the next chapter. Thank you.